Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to talk about circuits and we're going to talk about Ohm's law. So I haven't talked about circuits yet, so let me go ahead and introduce the idea of a circuit. So we talked about in previous lectures about how when you've got a battery or when you've got really a voltage, a potential difference, you've got charge that really wants to go from one point to another. And whenever we've got something that wants to go from one point to another, right, when we get to chemistry, we're going to talk about concentration gradients and electrochemical gradients, right? We can always use that energy to really power something, right? So in this case, we can use what's called a battery, and a battery can be a source of voltage. So I'm going to draw a battery in orange because I've been using the color orange for voltage. And this is typically how we symbolize a battery. And usually we've got a kind of a long end and a short end. And typically the long end is the positive end of the battery and the negative is the smaller end. And the way I always think of that is if you were to break this, you could make a plus, right? So, and then the small is the minus. So I always think you could kind of take this and make a plus, just kind of a way that I remember it. And so the battery is typically symbolized like this in a circuit. And then we've got the wire, which would look something like this. And let's keep going. And then you've got a resistor. So I'm going to go ahead and do resistance in this pink color. And resistors are typically symbolized like this in a kind of a spiky way. And then we go like this. So a resistor might look something like this. We might also have, for example, a light bulb. So the resistor could actually be a light bulb. And we're using essentially that resistance to power the light bulb. But a generic kind of resistor is typically drawn like this. So this is a very basic circuit. We've got a battery, which is a source of voltage, and then we've got a resistance. And typically we ignore, for the MCAT, we ignore the resistance of the wire, but wires are going to have some type of resistance as well. And so that brings us to the concept of Ohm's law. Ohm's law, fairly straightforward, is V, that is the voltage of a circuit, is equal to the resistance times the current. So typically it's written as V equals IR. So I'm going to go ahead and do current first, and I'll do current in, it's a little bit hard to see. So I'll make its own color for current, I times R, or just V equals IR. And let me make sure that these are the same thickness. So V equals I times R, or actually V equals I R. And so fairly straightforward. And then the units of these concepts, V, of course, is measured in volts. So typically it's written as an uppercase V, and that is volts. And then I is current, right? And current is measured in amps or amperes. So it's typically going to be written with an uppercase A. Amps. And then finally, R, of course, stands for resistance. And the symbol for resistance is omega. And the units for resistance are ohms. Hence, this is why this is called Ohm's law, right? And let me go ahead and write the concepts above. So let me give you a very easy example. So let's say that our battery we're dealing with is a 12-volt battery in this circuit. So let's say this is 12 volts. And then let's say our resistor is 3 ohms. What will our current be? Well, 12 divided by 3, of course, right? So V equals IR. So 12 divided by 3 is going to be equal to 4 amps. Now, another equation that we want to make sure to understand is how to calculate power in a circuit. So let's go ahead and do that equation. So power is equal to current, or I, times V. Right, and we already know these units, right? Other than power, which we've talked about this in energy and motion, but for review, the units of power are in watts. So I'm not going to write the units for these because we've already talked about them here, right? But you understand that current is measured in amps and voltage is measured in volts. And I'll put these on the equation sheet. So this is another question that you might be asked about power. So let's add that here. And so, for example, let's calculate the power of this circuit up here, right? How would you do that? You would do I, which in this case is 4, times 12, which is the voltage. And what's 4 times 12? Well, it's 48, right? So P is equal to 48 watts. And sometimes you might see watts written in kilowatts if we're dealing with a very high wattage. And same thing with amps. You might see amps sometimes written in milliamps, right? All right, now this is a very simple example of a circuit. What's an example of a more complicated circuit? So let's say that instead of one resistor, we've got two resistors. So let me go ahead and do that. So let me draw the battery again. And again, instead of one resistor, let me do two resistors. So this is resistor number one, and this is resistor number two. And as I said before, the resistor is really anything that we're powering. So it could be, for example, a light bulb, could be really anything. We symbolize it generically as just a resistor. And let's say as far as resistance here, let's say that this resistor is 3 ohms. And let's say this resistor, or actually let me say this resistor is 2 ohms. And this resistor is 4 ohms. And let's say we're still dealing with a 12-volt battery. And so what's the total, or what we would call the equivalent resistance of this circuit? So if we wanted to kind of symbolize this circuit in terms of just one resistor, what would be the overall resistance of these two circuits, or these two resistors combined? And when the two resistors are in series like this, so this is what we call resistors in series. So let me go ahead and write that, series. That is one after the other. They're a series of resistors, one followed by the other. So all the current's going to go through both resistors. And so the total resistance, or what we would call the equivalent resistance, so Req is going to be equal to just the sum of the resistors. So R1 plus R2 plus R3 if we had a third resistor, and so on and so forth, right? So this is R1. Let's say this is R2. Doesn't really matter which one is which, etc. And so in this case, of course, Req would just be 2 plus 4, 2 ohms plus 4 ohms, and that would be equal to 6 ohms. So I think fairly easy, really not that difficult of a concept. So again, this is the equation for total resistance, or what we would call equivalent resistance in a series circuit. Now, what about in a parallel circuit? So what we mean by a parallel circuit is, so let me write parallel here. So let me go again ahead and draw the battery. So we've got a 12-volt battery. And then we've got the circuit. But now let's say that the current is divided into two parallel pathways, looking something like this. And then we've got resistors on both sides. And then they're going to rejoin at some point. And they're going to end up back at the battery. Let me say that this one is 6 ohms. And then let me say that this one is 3 ohms. And what is the equivalent resistance going to be here? Well, in this case, of course, we wouldn't add up, we wouldn't just add up the resistances. What we would actually do is, the equation is going to look like this. So it's going to be 1 over Req is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3, etc. And so let's do the math on that. Let's see what we're talking about here. So 1 over Req is equal to 1 over R1. So let's say 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3. And then we don't have a third resistor. So it's going to be equal to this. And so now what we have to do is we have to add up these fractions. We have to add up 1/6 and 1/3. And if you recall back to when you learned this at some point, which presumably was a while ago, how to add up fractions, what you have to do is you have to make sure that you've got the same denominator. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 over 6, and then we're going to have to double both of these. So times 2 times 2. And so it's going to be 1 over 6 plus 2 over 6. Right? And that's going to be equal to 3 over 6. Right? 3/6 is going to be equal to 1 over 2. And so Req is 2, right? We found it at the bottom of this fraction in the denominator. So in this case, equivalent resistance is going to be equal to 2. So Req is equal to 2. And so let's go ahead and write that here. And that's in ohms, of course. Now, just to give you some kind of an intuition as to why this is the case, notice that Req is actually lower in the parallel circuit than either of the two resistances, right? So in series, it was the sum of the two, so it was obviously higher than both of them. But in this case, Req is lower. And the intuition for that is that you can kind of imagine that these electrons, or that the current, I should say, is traveling along the circuit here, and then it kind of ends up here. And then some of the electrons are going to go down this way, or should I say some of the current's going to go this way, and some of the current's going to go this way, right? And let me go ahead and erase that. I don't want to kind of make this messy. But the current is going to divide. And so some of the current's going to go in this resistor, and some of it's going to go in this resistor. And so the overall resistance that's experienced is actually lower than either of the two resistors, right? Essentially, we can think of it as the current kind of has a choice of which resistor it wants to go through. And so giving the current that choice ultimately is going to reduce the overall resistance of the circuit. And so calculating resistance in this way is fairly straightforward in these two simple examples that I've given you. When we get to some of the practice problems, I'll give you some slightly harder problems because this can get a little bit harder when you're dealing with slightly more complex circuits. But I don't think the MCAT will ever give you super complex circuits. For the most part, it'll ask you, it'll make sure you understand this basic principle of series versus parallel, Ohm's law, V equals IR, and then also this P equals IV. And I think if you understand that, you'll be fairly straightforward when it comes to Ohm's law and circuits in terms of voltage, resistance, and current for the MCAT.